That is me, everybody. Nimble with numbers. Scott Simpson here. Welcome to the DFS Money Shot. Today, I'm honored to have my friend, a member of the Crab Cake Invitational League here in the local Maryland area. And I think the closest, fantasy friend. If I fell down the stairs, I could be like, Joe, Joe, help me. My back is broke. And, you could come over and point at me from social distance 6 feet away and laugh in my face and be like, I won't help you. No, but thank you, Joe Bond. Welcome. What an introduction. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Tell the folks about yourself, where they can find you, and I'll pull up your bona fides here on the Twitters.
Yeah, man. So fantasy6pack.net is where you can find me. And I'm at F6P_Joe. Yeah, I mean, all the stuff's on the site. We do some DFS thanks to you, and that you're helping out there now. We've got lots of season-long content as well, IDP, dynasty rankings, rest of season rankings, all that kind of good stuff. So definitely tune in. And sorry, I got to dip down. I forgot I didn't have my computer plugged in. It's about to die on me, so that'd be bad. But go ahead. It's right here.
All right, he's gonna dip down for a second. No nefarious behaviors going on. Don't worry. He's a good guy. I know him.
There we go. We're good.
Yeah. So yeah, if you go to the fantasy6pack.com, you can find lots of great work there. You can find my work there as of a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Joe. I tweeted out of mockingly, like, man, I need another job because I'm working so hard. And then you're like, hey, come do some writing over here for us at Fantasy Six Pack. And I said, I can't. I'm too busy. And then you're like, no worries about it, buddy. And then a couple days later, or a couple minutes later, I got several ideas.
Yeah, so, you were like, I got an article ready. I was like,
I'm ready to go. And so, yeah, I get a little excited about fantasy football. So thank you for letting me write. All I've been doing is tweeting out Bo's work, reading Bo's work, and kind of getting jealous because that's what I did last year. I was the writer, and this year I'm the manager. I'm also doing my own DFS content, lineup building, all that kind of stuff. But it was nice to actually go and write. And you can go to the Fantasy Six Pack. You can check them out. I recommend all the work that so many people there are doing. And then the Wednesday show that you guys do, is it Thursday that you guys do?
We normally do it Thursday. The last couple of weeks we've changed it up because of the holidays and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, and I love that.
On Thursday this week.
AJ's hair last week.
My gosh,
it was just like a porcupine. It was killing me. I love AJ, by the way. He's good people. And I love his contrarian kind of just vibe, and it works. He's a cool guy. But that hair was definitely killing me. I was dying.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was totally good stuff. So check Joe and his work out there at the Fantasy Six Pack. Follow him on Twitter. If you do not follow him, you should be following him. And let me get into the show and kind of how the show format works. If this is the first time that you're joining us, we are going head to head. We got $10 on the line. Not a big prize, but it's more just about hanging out, having a good time. And so I'm drinking. I got a beer here. It's a local. You might be familiar with it, right next to where you live. It is called Road Dust, and it is from the Brookville area.
It's closer to me than you.
Much closer to you. I mean, it's only like 15 minutes away from me or 10 minutes away from me, but it's probably 5 minutes away from you or 2?
No, it's probably about 10 from me, actually, still. I got to go up and around, but yeah, so about the same.
Yeah, well, I speed. Don't tell anybody that. I do in Montgomery County. But it is a nut brown ale, 5.22%. Pretty good. So what are you drinking there? You got something bigger than mine for sure.
Yeah, I just picked this up this afternoon. I had no idea I was coming on the show, but good timing. Astrolab's Super Grooviest. It's a triple IPA. Just took a couple sips before the show here, and yeah, man, I gave it like a 4 3/4, 4.5 on Untapped. It's solid, man. You can only go up to 5 there, so that's a hell of a score for me. It's a smooth triple IPA, which is scary because it'll go down faster than it should.
And what's the ABV on that? I'm
10.2.
Oh,
yeah.
That's one of those where you do it, and then later you're like, "What happened, honey? I got like a terrible headache the next day." And you're like, "Oh, I had 3 of those bad boys."
No, this is the only one of these tonight. I guarantee it. But it'll be good. I got to ask you though. You posted that thing on Thanksgiving. The Snickerdoodle. Did you drink one?
Yes. It was.
I bought a pack for my wife. How is it?
It's delicious. I drank them all.
Okay.
I drank a couple that night. I drank 2 the next night. It's a 4-pack.
Yeah.
What I like about it is 5%, so it's not huge.
Yeah.
And so you could really gross that beer out by making it syrupy and just kind of nasty, but all the flavors go together and it's light and easy to drink.
She
and
was so mad. I feel like we found a beer. I know we're gonna get on a rant about beer here. Sorry. She was so mad. There was a beer that was in the Flying Dog like sampler holiday pack at this point, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a collaboration with some cookie company, and it was some cookie thing, like, and it was crazy, and it was like, a cinnamony sort of snickerdoodle-ish type of flavor, and they discontinued it, and so ever since then we've been trying to buy different types of like horchata-ish beers, and they don't match up. So I'm hoping this one, especially since it's just like right next door to us, that it will hit for us, and maybe they'll bring it back every year, and we can get them for her. So hopefully.
You're a good man. I mean, you're talking about doing, things for your wife, looking out for her. You haven't even had it yet. I bought this is my wife's beer. Actually, I bought this for her, and I'm drinking it. So, Joe Bond, a better person than I am across the board. Let's just be here.
Say about that.
I'm going to have him on tonight. He's my kind of people. I mean, his brand is the Fantasy 6-pack. I mean, you're talking beer all the time. I'm a local beer guy. I'm a home brewer. So this is right up my alley. We were meant to kind of find each other, I think. If we didn't, it'd be weird because somebody would be like, "Hey, man, I've got this guy who's my friend. He's a home brewer. He likes fantasy football. He's right around the corner." And then you'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard." I don't know. So it's cool that we kind of the way that Twitter works. If you don't know, random strangers who live like right near each other get to find out that they're like neighbors. And you're like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, we were talking late night one time, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you live how close to me?"
Yeah. So our kids wouldn't go to the same high school, I don't think.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but it's similar. We're one high school away.
Just about.
Yeah. So it's pretty. I don't think there's another one in between us. I think there's one like behind us. Joe and I live kind of out in the good area of the county where there's not a lot of people, which is nice.
Yes.
That's kind of how I see it. It takes a little bit of ways to get in, but you know what? I'd rather do that and have a beautiful back area and woods. Look at the Magruder Branch Trail behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. So we're waxing Montgomery County. So it's a Moco show. We're heavily dominating on Moco. Well, let's jump into the format. If you're new, here's what we do. We have our lineups, and we're going to go and talk about each of the players and what we see in them. And, feel free to jump in, talk about mine. I'll jump in, talk about his as well. So as we start, we're going to start with quarterback. And I led off with rookie sensation, on pace to break all the rookie records for passing yards, for completion percentage, for touchdown. I mean, he's crushing it. Justin Herbert at 7,200. You went with the MVP of the league, Patrick Mahomes, at 8K. Talk about Patty Mahomes this week and why you picked him.
I mean, MVP, right? It's hard to pass up on him. He's not even the most expensive quarterback on this slate. Look, I know the Tampa defense is solid. They're one of the top in the league. This game has shootout written all over it for some reason. It just does. Even though like both defense, like the Kansas City defense is more improved this year than it has been in the past, but they've got plenty of holes, and Tom Brady's going to come back out firing, and the Chiefs are going to do the same thing. They're not going to get steamrolled this game, and Patty Mahomes is going to have to be the one to do it with Kelsey and Hill and everybody else they have there. So he's a safer play here at this point, in my opinion. So
no, I like it, and I think that no one's going to stop Patty Mahomes.
No,
they're just not. And he's been consistent all year. And so let me see. I think I can bring in my data tool here. So this is over at nimblewnumbers.com. I'm a nerd. I make this. This is my own tool for myself so that I can, just have it and I can use it for my, own processes each week to evaluate who I'm going to play. And so here you have Pat Mahomes. He's the second highest priced quarterback at $8,000. But you said someone higher. Yeah, Kyler Murray's he's priced up even higher. This is Patrick Mahomes just this year. He's 30, 43, 29, 39, 34, 20. You're going to get a floor between basically 35 and 28 every game. You know what I mean? That it's going to be solid. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a great play. I went on the other side. I went with Justin Herbert. And you look at him, he has been, and he's the sixth. Let's rank him over here. It's a cool part about my tool. You can rank him. So, Justin Herbert is the sixth ranked quarterback, and he's been crushing it all year.
Yeah.
He's averaging 26 points per game, almost 27 points per game. And he's had one of the hardest schedules too. And
I'd be curious if he did that by points per game instead of total points. He moved up, right? Because he missed a game.
Yeah. So let's do this. And we're going to go. Oh, yeah. He
moves up.
He's ranked 4 overall.
I get it. Yeah. So, I mean, he's a guy I did look at. I'm not going to lie. Buffalo's been pretty susceptible to the past. So Herbert was a guy I looked at, but I just liked something a little later on that I guess will revel itself. So
we'll see. We'll just
give it away.
No
spoilers.
We don't tell
teaser.
Joe gets it. This is perfect. No, I like it. And here's the thing. I think those are two of the best plays on the slate.
Yeah.
And both of them are. And, I heard Sal Vetri, my friend, I love Sal, talking on his show. And he was just saying, you're going to pay up for quarterback this week. If you're going to you're going to get him.
Lots of reasons why.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but you're going to pay up for quarterback. Now, here's the cool part about this. You don't have to pay up at running back or wide receiver. You can do lots of different things. You can go other ways. I'm interested to see how we're going to differentiate here. So let's jump into that and go down to our first RBs. And, that's a huge difference. I have Nyheim Hines at 4,600. And you could double Nyheim Hines, and you still wouldn't pay up as much. Dalvin Cook at 9,500. Talk about Dalvin. I'm going to call him Dalvin the Stallion, because he's been crushing it this year. He is the best player in fantasy football by far. The second best is Devonta Adams. He's close, but he's not close. Dalvin Cook's the best. So talk about why you paid up for him here.
Look, you're talking about one of the worst run defenses in the league here, and one of the best running backs in the league. It's just a no-brainer in my opinion. We saw 2 weeks ago, right, when he played the Bears, and he struggled against the Bears. He still got 90 yards and then caught 4 for 16. Yeah. He still got 15 points that game. Look, if you had played him that week, you got hurt in DFS. Right. But the fact that he was able to do that against the Bears, who have one of the best run defense in the league, Cook's going to eat this game. This is the no-brainer pick for me. They should. I don't think it's going to be like a steamroll. Minnesota's going to kill Carolina or anything. I think it's going to be a fairly close game. But Minnesota leans on that run game, and they should. Yeah,
I feel like this game has a little bit of a shoot potential because their defenses are both bottom trashy defenses. So you saw last week with PJ Walker, who, by the way, I'm a big XFL guy. While I was here, I wrote for I'm still here, but while the XFL was here, I should say, in the first iteration that we just had, or the second iteration of 2020, the rebirth of it, I got to write for the XFL News Hub. Right down the street. Yeah, Mark Perry, shout out. He's a great guy, and I got to cover them. PJ Walker, his arm strength and his gunslinger mentality, the Brett Favre in him, you could just see he likes to sling it. And so that offense didn't skip a beat. And I think Teddy, if anything, now I heard that Teddy is being critiqued by PJ. That's the last thing I heard, is that he's on him, and so I think this game is going to go a little bit. I think it's going to go a little bit up. And so I think Dalvin Cook is going to be safe to get 20, 25 points, easy. So I think it's great. I went with Nyheim Hines at the value. We don't know what's going to happen between him and Wilkins, who's going to be the goal line back, but we know that for sure Hines is going to be in there. He'd probably get a 50-50 share, if not maybe more. We know in the past that Phillip Rivers has checked down to his RB a lot of times. We've seen it in this season. We've also seen it in other seasons. I loved when Frank Reich said at the beginning of the season, we're going to, maybe some games we'll just throw the ball to Nyheim Hines 14 times. And we all mocked him. And we all like, adjust your ranks.
You got to drive the Taylor. No way.
And, whatever. It was funny. And then like one game he did, and you're like, fuck. Oh my God. Look what I did. He did it. Son of a bitch.
And then 5 weeks in a row, he doesn't. So
he doesn't.
Like, yeah.
He doesn't. And so, but I feel like with the options slimming and this game, I don't think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I just don't. I don't see it. I think this is going to be a game where it's 28-24, 28-27 at the end. I bet you Hines gets one touchdown at least, and hopefully gets two. That's hoping. I'm hoping.
Hines was one of my last 4 running backs that I was choosing between, and then it just roster.
You got better running backs.
Roster construction didn't allow me to use him.
Well,
but I love the pick.
Well, let's talk about your next pick because I love your pick. I didn't have the money I paid up other places, but you have Mr. James Robinson. I would say rookie of the year. If Joe Burrow is now done,
Herbert's gonna get it.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Herbert's gonna get it, but like honestly, Robinson for running back rookie, you're looking at him and Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson.
It's 1-2, man, and that's the Thursday night performance. Gibson might have vaulted, but Robinson's still like top notch. I mean, they're right there.
And Cleveland gives up the run.
Yeah, Cleveland isn't a lockdown run defense at all. Like, look, people are worried about this game getting out of hand with Jacksonville using Mike Glennon, and rightfully so. They should be.
Yeah. We've
seen time and time again from Jacksonville. It doesn't matter what the game script is. They're giving the ball to Robinson 100 times, it feels like. And they just don't care. They're like, you know what? We got nobody else. And especially this week, they don't have anybody else. They don't have Shark. They lost what's the other guy? They're getting Chenault back. They got Keelan Cole, but they lost
Conley.
Conley, thank you. Yeah, so they lost Conley and they lost Cole. Anyway, I'm rambling. You get my point. They're gonna still have to feed Robinson. Like what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to slow the game down. They're gonna give Robinson the ball, and this guy proves it time and time again that he's gonna get points. So I liked it a lot. That's why I went with it.
It's a great pick, and I'm not. My running backs are not as good. Let's just say that right now you are very much ahead of. You're crushing me, which is fine. I accept it. I got some back end value coming. Just wait for it. But Brian Hill. Yeah, I know. Brian Hill, value-wise, is hard to beat. I mean, and they have these every week. Somebody goes down, the Thursday report, they're not in. You're like, yes, who is it? Well, it's 2-yard Todd Gurley this week. And I think Brian Hill can be, 4-yard Brian Hill. I think that can be. And if he gets me 4 yards enough, it'll be 12 points. It's all I need him to kind of min cash here to get that value, 3-time value. So I like it. It's no James Robinson, but if I luck box into a touchdown, it could be, I'm getting just that money. That's how I'm chasing that money. So that's my play here. Let's go to the next section. We get to scroll up, which I love. Wide receiver. Let's talk about our first wide receiver here. I have paired my Herbert with a Keenan Allen. And I paid up for it. That was my money. That was a lot of my money right there. I had to pay up for it because you're not going to get a cheap Keenan Allen. I mean, they were pricing him down the 600s or 6,000s a couple weeks ago. You're like, what are you doing? He's going to be up at 8K, and now he finally is. But I'm paying for him. He's getting a whopping 30-plus target share every single week. I can't ignore that. On a game I think is going to shoot out, and you have 2 quarterbacks, in Josh Allen and Herbert, who is going to sling it, and they can move, and they're young. I love this game. This is going to be a great game to watch, too. So I had to go Keenan Allen and stack it with Herbert. That was what I went. Talk about the value you have in this game. I'm not running it back, but I have Hines in this game, and I told you I thought this game was going to be up, in the I think it's going to go over the total for sure. I think you kind of like this game, too. Talk about Corey Davis.
Yeah. So Do I love Corey Davis? No, but I mean he's actually been more consistent than AJ Brown. AJ Brown's got the higher ceiling. Corey Davis right now has the floor, and I needed a little bit of value, a little bit of savings here, and you'll see with my wide receivers that was kind of the theme, as you alluded to, right? Like it had to be value across the board. If you're going to pay up at quarterback, you're going to pay up at maybe one other spot. I love the Allen pick. I really do like it. Like, Allen's been an absolute monster this year, but I just went a different direction. But Corey Davis, not my first pick, but just kind of where the value fell. And, he's been good for 15, to 20 points most weeks, it feels like. So I'll take my chances. I know Indy's a really tough D, but as you said, that this game could surprisingly shoot out. So we'll see what happens. I do want to mention here about the Hunt thing. Dude, I almost picked Hunt. He was actually one of my last 5 I went with. Burn Zone. I just was, because the value's there, right? And you're thinking it's going to be a runaway with Cleveland, so they're going to run. And yeah, you're probably right. Problem is like, we just don't know who gets the ball with Cleveland sometimes. And where the yards are. And we realistically know it's Chubb first.
It's always Chubb first.
So realistically, it's the wrong word.
How can it not be Chubb first? I mean,
it's always right. It's always Chubb first, right? And then after that, it's Hunt. And what was interesting last week, right? And I mentioned this on a couple of the shows I did, is Hunt got all the inside the 10-yard line work.
Yes.
Which was shocking. So if that continues, Hunt's going to kill. But it's so volatile, especially in a head-to-head cash game. You need to be a little safer in an MME or something like that. Then you maybe take the chance on Hunt, because he's only 5,000. I think is what it was. Yeah, he'll be in a lineup somewhere. I have.
Yes,
100%.
If you're doing a multiplier, that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
Or if you're doing a GPP, either one of those, Hunt's a great play because he's going to be undervalued. I mean, he's so depressed. His price is so low. I have him in all my seasonal leagues. I got him in Scott Fish too. I believe in him, and he is a talent. He's a first round talent, and so's Chubb. When they're all, this is the thing that's so crazy. Baker Mayfield is trash.
He sucks.
He's trash. I mean, not as a person. I don't know him as a person. I'm not judging him. I'm just talking about his body of work on the field is not good. And they could do so much better with all the weapons they have with Odell, and Jarvis. One hip Landry can't catch. I get it. But they could do way better with a better quarterback. Man,
yeah.
And they're a playoff team. They're in the playoffs. Like, it's just crazy. Baker Mayfield is not, and watch him this game. He'll probably go crazy, and they won't run the ball, and he'll just throw it the whole time, and then we'll be like, the NFL. So, and then who cares? Because we don't have either of those guys, and we'll laugh in everyone's faces. So
Burns, I get it, man. They both have 100 yards early in the season, just a couple weeks ago, even. And I said that when I was contemplating this lineup, and I was just like, I don't know, man. It just feels something off for some reason. We're not 100% right, but I didn't want to take the risk. I like the safer floors with the guys I got.
I love it too. And I love Phil, the Burn Zone. I've known him for a long time. He's a local guy here too. He messes up with Denny in Denny's league. We've done a couple of different FanDuel matchups. He's great. I love him. He's a good guy. I mean, I can't. I don't have Hunt either. So we faded Hunt in this lineup at least. And this is head to head. You're trying to grab that cash, bitch. Right?
Yeah.
There's 4 people around. You get that money. So that's what we did. And so let me go down to the next wide receiver here. I went after money again. I'm gonna double it up because I've got gotta
double that up a little bit.
Let's just show here because I've got Pittman and you've got Pittman. I've got Diggs too. That's where my money went. So
yes, it did.
Yeah,
I went. Where mine went later. I think everybody already probably figures this out.
Yeah, you got home. So I mean, we right. There's somebody's going to be in the, and you only got 2 players left. But talk about Michael Pittman because we both valued him and we both went after him. And that was kind of random. And I mean, the Hill thing, a lot of people are on Hill right now. I get that. Allen, Diggs, whatever, running back, that's fine. Gabriel Davis, part of that game too. I love it. Like I was going, am I going to go Gabriel Davis? And I'm going to play him a lot in my GPPs and in my multipliers and things like that. But the Pittman that we actually have the same pick is really rare because Michael Pittman is not somebody who's well owned. So talk about Michael Pittman, what you see in him.
I mean, Pittman's been a baller the last couple of weeks, and Rivers, as we've seen his entire career, likes to kind of favor one guy, and Pittman's it right now. It's Tennessee can get passed on, so I have no issues with Pittman at the price value here, and it allowed me. And those Corey Davis and Michael Pittman were my last two players. I had the rest of the lineup built out; they were my last two. So that the values there just lined up, and I have $200 left, but I just didn't like anybody else better to move up a little bit elsewhere. So that's the way I looked at it with Pittman. He's been catching a lot of passes, and DK, it's PPR, so that's where we get it.
Yeah, the way that I built my lineup too is that I coined a phrase, by the way. This is from the Fancy Millionaires. I didn't know Justin Timberlake was saying in his song, go on ahead with it or something like that. I thought he was saying, go heavy bone with it, and bring your, work your sexy out. I thought that line in that song was go heavy bone with it, but I think it was like, go ahead, go on with it or something. I miss it, but I went heavy bone with my wide receivers in this situation because of Diggs. But Michael Pittman to me is going heavy bone too. Like he's the wide receiver one. He's the guy, like you said.
It's no longer Hilton.
No, Hilton's done. They trashed him down. He's down 3,900. Michael Pittman should be around 5,800, really, honestly. And so when I saw that, I was just like, oh, he's part of my stable of studs. And I couldn't believe who I got next and who you got next, you son of a gun. Let's just reveal. I was not happy about this one. We both have him, though. So
you got him too? Not fair.
I know. It's not good. I know. It's not good.
I'm so mad.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
Your flex better be trash.
Well, your flex is not going to be trash because you got
no, it is not.
Yeah,
you already, whatever.
My flex better be trashy. Exactly right. I like how Joe's drinking. My beer's gone. My wife's one beer didn't last me. Son of a bitch. You know what?
Well, you tell me why you like Kelsey besides the obvious.
Man, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Can I share my screen, Kevin? Okay.
I thought about going Henry and going elsewhere, and then I didn't. I just went, nope, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Listen, the last 3 weeks he's played on a football field, it's been 27.9, 28.9, and then, God damn it, he missed it by 400ths. 29.86. So he was so close to just one more point each week, building on that. But that's insane to add 28 or 29 points. He's on historic level to himself. They compared him to himself from a couple years ago, and he's better. You're like, oh shit, he's well above everybody else. And so if you're going to get Henry, which is fine, I think Henry's good. He averages around 10 points a game. He spiked at 13, 14.
The last couple of weeks, he's gotten touchdowns, which is nice.
Right, but Kelsey's getting targets,
everything.
Everything. I love it, and
he needs to be higher priced. I'm shocked he's still only 7,000. Is that what it was?
7,000. Joe, here's the truth.
Nuts.
I have a show before this show on the Fancy Discord with Space Ghost Force, great guy. He kind of started the Discord Fancy chat in our industry. It's amazing what the Discord's kind of done. I just kind of jumping into it. So we do a show called the DFS Slate, and somebody asked a question. They said, "Do you think Travis Kelce was underpriced?" And I said, yes. To the point where I created my tool and I put the number in. I went through all the process I do. Then later I was writing an article. I was looking at something and I was referencing it. I said, 7,000, that's wrong. Where am I getting my data from? Oh, it's from me. I went in, I was like, I made a mistake. My tool's wrong. And I went back and checked DraftKings. I was like, 7, really? Shit. So I actually went through the process of thinking I had made a mistake in my own process because it was so low. And so
DK just discounts tight ends in general. Like, and I get it for everybody else, but Kelsey needs to be up there with,
He's a wide receiver
the
one.
top end wide receivers.
Yes.
He needs to be in the 8K range.
It's crazy. It's
nuts.
It's crazy.
I was shocked. And that's why I was like, I wanted to go elsewhere. And I was like, nah, I'd be stupid, especially now that I've got Mahomes. I've got to pair him with Kelsey.
I love it. And I had the same thought, and I couldn't, when I actually put my lineup together and I went through this, when I got Pittman, I said, whoa. And then when I got Kelsey, I went, oh my gosh. And then, I was very excited. But yeah, I did. Let's look at the next. The flex is always, you pay up, you rob Peter to pay Paul to pay, I don't know, whoever it is nowadays.
Keep drinking.
Yeah, keep going. I'm out of booze. Well, I'm not out of booze. I just have I have Lafroig, but I don't have a glass. That's my problem. You know what?
You need a glass?
I do have a glass.
Bottle it.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what?
Oh,
all
nice. Tip it back. Man, I'm a bad influence.
Money shot.
I'm a bad influence.
Listen, here's the thing. My wife is not happy right now somewhere. I know she's not, because
she's going to watch this show and be like, you can't ever hang out with that Joe Bond guy.
She never watches my show. That's
all right. Good times.
No, you know what? Before the show, one reason why I was late is I was upstairs talking to the beautiful, lovely, amazing Rose. And here's what she said. She said, oh no. And she's scrolling on her phone. And I thought, who died? Like I mean, literally, I was like, in my mind, I was like, did a friend die? No, cousin. Like who? Like, because that was what, and she goes, 2 deep breaths. I go, everything okay, honey? I'm about to do my show with Joe. And she's like, I have 2 players that are out. I go, what? She goes, yeah. I know you told me about Todd Gurley, but Ahmed's out too. I said, what are you doing? I said, your husband is a fancy guru. You're looking at your phone now. I just was like, I gotta go.
I'm playing my wife this week in our family league. And earlier in the day, I texted her, was like, hey, I forget exactly what it was. I was like, oh, by the way, you should pick up so-and-so because you're oh no, somebody was out. I was like, by the way, so-and-so is going to be out. You need to go do something else. And I was like, oh, crap, I forgot you're playing me. I should stop giving you advice this week. And so she's got Lamar, right? And I was like, well, Lamar's out and she knows that. And I like, we're sitting on the couch upstairs earlier today with the kids, and I went, there's a really sneaky good quarterback play this week, but I'm not telling you. And she's upstairs. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's the only one available in our 12-team league because his family, they all own 3 quarterbacks, and I can't do anything else to stop him. But he's the only one out there. Otherwise, she's starting Daniel Jones. Good luck with that. But yeah. So I'm just like, I'm not helping you anymore.
No. My wife a couple years ago. Here's the truth. I'm gonna lay it bare here for the folks. I've been in fantasy football for a long time. I've been fantasy footballing it since 2003, I think. With me and my homeboys, my crew. And we've had splits and come back together, some breakups, and now we're back and things different, different iterations of the league, as we call it. But I've never won. And I've won other little leagues, but not the league. I've never won the league. And my best friend, Mike Collins, who is in our league, he's in the Crab Cake Invitational, and my co-host for Fantasy Millionaires, he's won it like 4 times, and he's won it 3 in a row.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh man, he's just like, he sends an email every week or every year. He's like, hey guys, thank you for all your money. Come, and he hosts. He's like, come to my house. I put this back on the food and some beer for you. And
that's awesome.
He's a great guy. Literally, he's the best. But I've been trying to win that thing for a long time, and so my wife just started a couple of years ago, and she's gotten second place in Mike's wife's league. She has a league. A lot of the wives are in it now. Got second a couple times. She keeps talking mad trash to me, like just mad trash, just like, maybe you should listen to me. And so a couple years ago, we had a sex bet. It was great, and whoever had the better team at the end would, get their way with the other person. I didn't win.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But listen, it was great because I don't mind. Whatever. Like, it was great. But after that, she's not, we become partners. I said, listen, we should work together. We should be.
Oh, that's
I know. But we're not in any leagues.
Interesting territory, buddy. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Any leagues together. We're not any leagues together. So
my wife literally, even the very first year that she played in this league, very first time she's ever played, she knew nothing, right? Mm-hmm. I'm over here going, I've been playing for 15, 16 years at that point. She'd never played. I know she knows football, but she didn't know all the players. I'm sitting there I'm not really trying very hard in this league because I didn't want to just run over the entire family and make them hate fantasy football. So I'm like, Jody, you should pick up so-and-so. She just looked at me. She's like, stop helping me. I can figure it out myself. And I was like, I mean, can you? I don't know. If you're not making moves on Tuesday night, so what am I supposed to think? So, yeah, but no, she's picked it up. She actually she snagged the Giants defense off waivers ahead of me this week, and I was pissed because I wanted them so bad. I'm like, oh, you're listening. I should stop talking.
I don't want to be mean to your wife. I'm listen. Here's how I feel. It's that scene in Seinfeld where Jerry talking to Uncle Leo, and he basically says, if a woman can stand your presence for more than 5 seconds, hold on to her like grim death. So any women who hang out with guys and be with them for a long time, I get it. Amazing. So I'm not going to talk.
I'm in.
Awesome. No shit against your wife, but my wife said the same stupid shit. And but here's why it's not stupid. It's stupid when you think about it from the way that you and I think. We're experts or so-called experts, right? We want to help, share, give, support. Yes. Right.
This is what I do. I run a site I give advice. I'm like, look, I'm not telling you have to do it. I'm not doing it for you, but here's the advice. And she just tells me to shut up. And I'm like, fine. Well, so I stopped talking.
Yeah. And so as I'm an educator as well, and I understand the dichotomy of learning. And so when you're a kid and you're an educator and you're teaching to kids, the relationship is much more, you're talking down, not even talking down. I'm talking up.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. And so because you and your wife are equals but you're not in this situation, there's so much. My wife did the same thing. She was just like, I don't want any of you. I want to claim me. This is me in the league. And then so last year when she auto drafted the first 6 picks, I said, is that you or is that Matthew Berry or who on the who is that? She's like, I couldn't get her a feature. I couldn't. And guess what? She was great. She got second place. She talked mad shit. So this year I'm in first place, or I was most of the year in my my big money league, and I'm going to win it this year. And I can't wait to.
Knock on wood, right?
Yeah. My team. I'll give you my team right now. Russell Wilson, Kareem Hunt, Austin Eckler. I have
coming back.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. My brain is a little, verklempt. I did drink while you weren't, you were talking. I had some of my Lafroig.
I saw you tipping it back.
Yeah, it was good. So I'm not. I
don't hit you that fast.
Oh no! I don't forget, but I do. I go around. I go around in my talking because I'm an educator. So I do. I'm on tangent.
Circle back.
So I'll circle back to what I said. Why my wife would hate it. And I started talking about my wife a bunch because she's I'm a germ freak too. But putting your mouth on this, but it's a closed. No one else is going to put their mouth on this.
Right.
Me. And I'm not sick right now. So, I won't be sick then. I won't be giving myself any sickness. So it's fine. I actually like it. All right. So here's my team. And then we're going to get to our real team. This is my team. I think it's good. It's Russell Wilson, Kareem Hunt. And then this week I had to play Duke Johnson, but I've got Duke Johnson, Devontae Adams, Robert Woods, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown. And then I have Brian Hill. I picked Brian Hill up this week. And I have the Colts D.
I fell asleep on that one, man. Everybody was picking up Brian Hill. I was like, what the hell happened?
I got him real fast.
Oops.
Yeah. Brian Hill, Colts D, Harrison Butker, CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Jonnu Smith, Matt Ryan, Jacoby Myers, Austin Eckler, and then Ahmed, and I have Jamal Williams as well. So I'm going to win.
Solid, man.
I'm going to win.
It's a good team.
I'm going to win. My boy, though, the guy who's going to chase me down, or he has more points than me, I'm chasing him down. He has Josh Allen. He stacked him with Diggs. And then he's got Allen Robinson, James Robinson, He and Hawkinson. So he's got a bunch of killers too. So this is the cool part. When you're good at fantasy football, you get to like be in the chase. You're going up against guys who are good too. They got great teams too. It's a bunch of killers. You can't. Your teams. You'll see it. You'll battle it out on the gridiron. So we'll see.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I'm there.
He's been there, done that. It's good stuff, man.
Yes. All right. So we'll go. You got Brian Hill, you son of a bitch. So I was gloating.
Another one.
My value here. Yeah, you've got him.
He's the obvious play.
He is a great play at down there at 4K.
Not a whole lot to say there. Obvious play in for Gurley going against the Raiders. He's going to get volume. That's what you're hoping for at 4,000.
Yes. Well, and
he's good.
He's good.
That's the thing. And he's good.
No, I think he's better than Gurley.
And Julio's banged up. Even if he plays, I don't think he's going to be 100%. So Ryan better dump it down to Hill instead of trying to throw it to Gage and old whatever the hell his name is. Because that doesn't work.
Yeah, Zacchaeus, come down from your tree, bro. Yeah, you're not Julio.
They just stop throwing it to those guys. It's not working.
No, I like that. And here's the thing about Brian Hill, too. You have him for 4K. So I think he gets 15, 16, 17 points at least. I think it's kind of just game flow. They're going to be losing. They're going to be throwing. They're going to throw their backs. Todd Gurley has not been himself. They still get targets. So I think Brian Hill gets those targets, and it does well. Yeah, and I got him too. So I'm not going to, talk shit about
like yours, man. I had him lined up and then pivoted elsewhere.
Pivot. Well, we talked earlier about the Connolly being out and then Shark being out. So you've got James Robinson. Here's what's cool. We've got the same games. We're targeting the same. We're thinking in the same mindset of how these
players
will play. And we're just picking different players on the team to maximize value. I think it's really cool. Let's look at the last picks here to end it. I went with the Giants because I had a little bit more money than you left at the end.
Actually, no, we had the exact same money. If you think about it, you paid an extra $100 on defense than me.
No, it's actually 1,000 because I'm at 32.
Oh, you did.
But
right, I got you. Right. I thought it said 23.
My bad. It's
apparently my 10.2 kicked in. Sorry.
It's tiny on the screen.
It is tiny on the screen.
Yeah, let's just be honest.
No, it's all good. You don't have to zoom in.
Yeah, here we go. Listen, my glasses aren't on. Real life.
I'm wearing my glasses. I usually wear contacts. These are like 10 years old, so who knows if these are any good anymore.
Yeah, so that's okay.
I love your pick, man. Like, I wanted to pay up for defense so bad this week, but every time I did it, I couldn't find the lineup I liked. So, and you can see like the difference, right? So you went in on it, and I get why you went off the Giants. Like, they're starting their practice squad quarterback. Gio's out. Like, there's a league where I picked up the New Orleans defense off waivers, and then like 3 of my players went on IR, and the Giants were still sitting there, and I picked them up. Now I'm having a coin flip between the two to figure out which one to start. So I love and they've been way better lately, right?
Yes, but here's the thing: you got more value out of your defense. If your defense gets you 6 points, you're good. Last week, they got 10 points against the Chargers. You know what I mean? Against a good team. So
actually, they got 12 points. You're on the wrong row.
Oh,
no, you're right. 10 points. Nope, 10 points. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. So the other reason why I went with the Jets is look, they're playing Miami, solid team, but they're getting Fitz magic pack probably.
Yeah.
Turnovers, baby.
and one of those games was against Fitzmagic, and they picked him off twice.
Right.
So yeah,
I think he does.
Yes.
And he's gonna take some tax
out of that. You're quad cashing up to 5 maxing. So
he might put up 30 points, but if I get a couple picks, one gets returned, I'm happy.
No, I think it's good.
I did it.
I think it's great. I like both of our teams. I'm going to say that we're pretty even. Honestly, I
so much similarity.
Yeah. There's certain things that have to break in the game. And so, we're both looking at that Buffalo, the Chargers game and how it's going to break. You need Gabriel Davis to be kind of let loose. There's no John Brown in the slot. Cole Beasley.
Not so much let loose. It's just I mean, he's 3,000, so like I don't need him to blow up, but like, yeah, I need him to catch 5-6 for 50 or 60, and he'll be
if you get a touchdown,
golden,
you're gonna be
dude. The difference is it's running backs versus receivers in our lineups, and like your running backs are Hines, it's Hines versus Cook and Robinson, right? And so like mine are higher end running backs, and I feel better about my running backs, but I feel way better about your receivers. But if Hines does what he did 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, you're gonna kill me.
I think it's really
but Davis and Pittman could easily it's yeah. It'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Well, I think it's great, and I think it's perfect that we kind of both arrived at completely different teams, but along the same type of process, looking at the games. And so, when I reached out in the chat to my friends and just said, "Hey, I need a guest," you jumped in. We're like, "I haven't been prepared. I don't know, dude. You're prepared. Like, just your acumen, fantasy football wise, translates. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So this is a great matchup. And I'm sure Bo will pick you to beat me. And that's probably all that matters. So I got to thank you. Let people know where they can find you again. I'll flash it up here at the Fantasy Six Pack on Twitter. But where else can they find you?
fantasy6pack.net. Obviously, fantasy at F6P_Joe. Obviously, we do the big things. Me personally is I do I help with the rankings every week. I'm on Fantasy Pros. Last year I was top 5 in season. Right now I think I'm number 13. I think
so good.
I'm hovering between like 10 and 18 all year long. I can't quite crack the top 10. But tough crowd. There's a lot of good people in there. I do the Fantasy Six Pack Hour every Thursday night. Usually around 9 p.m. Of course, that's on AJ's schedule, so usually 9:30, as Scott knows.
And his dog's schedule too.
Yeah, that was a rough one. So unfortunately, we know a little bit about that one, but normally his kid is not going to bed. And then I do a Sunday night show with Dave Eddy at Corporal Eddy on Twitter. We do a Sunday night reaction show. It's usually about halftime on the Sunday night games, and we just kind of do like a quick 30-minute breakdown of all the games that happened Sunday. That's pretty cool.
I love that.
And then that's pretty much where I'm at.
Well, I appreciate you for coming on last minute, jumping in. You're outstanding.
I'm in my pajamas and my glasses, man. I don't do this.
Yeah, listen,
I just said screw it. I'm drinking a beer and having some fun.
As you are, and that's the thing about. Me. I am myself 100% of the time, and it's freeing. As an older person, I'm 40. One, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, this is my time, If the ex-president now, I should say, can do whatever he wants, and like literally, this is what I want to do. I want to have fun with my friends. I want to drink beer, drink scotch, talk fantasy football, have a good time. So thank you for joining in the fellowship.
Man.
I'm excited that we got to know each other this year in the league. Lots of years to go. Keep going. We're gonna build a great community here in Maryland, particularly. I can't wait for COVID to be done, so we can have some real beers and
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to actually meeting you guys face to face.
Oh, for real. And I'm spying on you guys now from the bushes. It's really weird. But, Danny.
That was a deer. That was you.
Well, at one point for Denny, when he got hired over at Roto World, I bought him a 30-pack of Natty Ice. Natty Ice, just as because he drinks swill sometimes as a joke, and so he has this video where he's drinking Natty Ice from a cup with a straw one time. Like it's the funniest thing ever. Like this is the only way you drink. And so I was just giving him a hard time, but also giving him some free shitty beer if he wanted to drink, whatever. And so I went over to his house and like he wasn't home. I just dropped it off. I told him I was coming over because he lives a little bit away, and like we're up, like I didn't know he wasn't gonna be home when I came, and it was just weird because I'm like I kind of felt stalkerish, like I'm kind of like holding this beer and ringing his doorbell, and London's like, "Is he in there?" And she's like trying to look in his door. I'm like, "No, look at his door! Like, come on!" So it's just like, oh my gosh, trying to be someone's friend in a pandemic is just so weird, So, but I'm excited we're gonna be friends in the real life, like we are in the virtual world.
Absolutely,
we're transitioning, but you're awesome. And I'm gonna continue to write for you because I think it's going.
Yeah,
well.
man. No, we appreciate it. You do good stuff, man.
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I finally beat Bo's ass this week.
Nice.
Yeah, beat him.
The Thursday night one?
Yes.
Nice.
The Turkey Bowl. I won $150 this week in the DFS. So it was good.
Nice.
It was good. It wasn't
Good
like
work,
my 5K cash, but
hey,
I'll take it.
That's
I'll take
nice.
it. Well, here's the thing, a little insider tip. I won that 5K. I took 2K out. I bought DraftKings stock, and then I made $500.
Hey.
Like,
yeah, right.
I'm gonna put that right back into DraftKings. I'm gonna keep gambling. So it's a racket, but I'm involved now. I'm pumping them. So go to DraftKings, buy DraftKings stock, buy DraftKings everything. Appreciate you for jumping on, Joe. You're the best. And we'll see you guys next time on the DFS Money Shot. Have a good night.